Hi, it's Dominic Macero, and I'll be walking through the cardiovascular system today and some of the key terminology. I have this diagram here of the body and some of the major blood vessels as well as the heart to help me with this process. So first we're going to start with the atriums and ventricles. So the atriums are here at the top of the heart, and the ventricles are down here on the left and right on the lower portion of the heart. There are two atriums, the left and the right, as well as two ventricles, one on the left and one on the right. Atriums allow for circulation to occur uninterrupted, and the left atrium receives blood from the pulmonary veins, while the right atrium receives blood from the vena cava. The ventricles are the chambers that pump blood either to the lungs, in the case of the right ventricle, or the rest of the system in terms of the left ventricle. Next we have the inferior and superior vena cava. The superior vena cava can be found up here, and the inferior vena cava can be found down here. This is a large vein that returns blood to the heart. The inferior vena cava returns blood from the lower part of the body, while the superior vena cava returns blood from the head, neck, and upper limbs. Next we have the lungs, which would be located one here and one here. The lungs are where oxygenation of the blood occurs. The pulmonary arteries, which there are the left and the right, the pulmonary arteries can be found here on the left and here on the right, and these are the blood vessels that bring deoxygenated blood to the left lung in case of the left artery, and the right lung in the case of the right artery. The pulmonary veins are the blood vessels that return oxygenated blood back to the heart from the left and right lungs. So we have the left pulmonary veins down here and the right pulmonary veins over here. Arteries. So arteries, of which there are several. Right here we have the descending aorta, that's a major artery. We also see major arteries kind of across the body. Arteries are large blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. Arterioles are a small branch of the artery leading into the capillary. So if we imagine at the end of each of these arteries, we would have very small, kind of shrinking in size arterioles. So you can't see them in the picture, but you'd imagine them kind of coming off of the ends of each of these arteries. Veins. So veins are the vessels that return deoxygenated blood to the heart. So again, superior vena cava is a major vein. We also see major veins across the body and the limbs, torso, neck, and head. And they're shown in blue in my diagram here. Venules are very small blood vessels that allow microcirculation and allow the blood to return to the capillary beds to drain into larger blood vessels. So again, if we imagine kind of leading back into the vein, we would have venules that are much smaller, but also are returning blood to the heart coming from capillaries. Capillaries are microscopic blood vessels that join arterioles and venules. These are the sites of exchange for nutrients, water, and gases. So again, imagine kind of between the vein and the artery, we would have the arteriole feeding into the capillary, which is here, and then that feeds into the venule and back into the vein. And then finally, we have the semilunar valves, which are valves that are kind of located up here. There's two valves. There are paravalves in the heart and at the base of the aorta, as well as at the pulmonary artery. They prevent the flow of blood back into the heart. The tricuspid and bicuspid or mitral valves. The tricuspid valve is the valve that prevents backflow of blood from the right ventricle and right atrium, so it's going to be located over here. While the bicuspid prevents blood backflow between the left ventricle and left atrium over here. Please let me know if you have any questions. Hope that helped.